welcome once again to your favorite radio broadcast program, Heart to Heart Live. And you've been on a smooth ride with us as we have been dealing with relationships that inspire our generation on this series, Built to Last. And we've been having some interesting couples. We've been engaging in the last couple of weeks, and today is not going to be another exception. We are having the second episode or the return of another interesting power couple, and I'm glad to have them again with me in the studio today. We'd like you to be part of this day's conversation, and what you need to do is to either call us on our number 0809 1024, or to, if you're calling outside Nigeria, remember to add 234 0809 1024. And right now, the most important one of the things you can do is to go on Facebook. We're on the three major important social media platform. Well, not important, but significant social media platform. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at DIGITS1024. And right now, we are live on our Facebook page at DIGITS1024. If you go there, you will be on. And if you're on with us, we'd like to hear your likes, your shares, your comments. Let's get them coming, and you have an opportunity to also engage and ask these particular couple questions. All right, so very quickly, going straight to the conversation today, I want to bring to for the power couple. I'm going to be to say this is their second time. The first time was really pretty exciting, and I promised you we're going to get them back again. Quite busy people, but when digits call, they answer. And so, all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have in the studio Dumebi and Cjay again in the building. Please say hello to your viewers and listeners.
Hi,
Hi.
everyone.
All right. So if you are just meeting them for the first time they were here, we had a very interesting just before Valentine, I believe. Yeah.
Valentine's Day.
On
Oh,
Valentine's Day, yeah.
wow, fantastic. So I'm going to now ask. So before then, be preparing to tell me what you did on your Valentine's Day. All right. So, we had a long conversation around how they met, all the intrigues, all the shakara Madame was doing. All the let's get. No, it was an interesting conversation around how they met, and today it is history. These people are married, they're enjoying, they're having a ball, and it is all very clear in their eyes that they're having a great time. So today we're going to be concentrating on their marriage itself, and we're going to be, gleaning wisdom. And also, they are a passionate couple, helping other couples and people in relationship, and they run a program on the show. We're also going to be talking about that today. So beyond just today, these people that you can follow, and will encourage you to follow them, follow what they do. I am very sure you will be blessed. So once again, welcome. It's great to have you guys.
Thank
So
you.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
that conversation, we had it on Valentine's Day. So
Yeah.
what happened?
Nothing happened. I remember that day after the show we're supposed to go and get pizza.
Yeah, I
Also.
remember that we discouraged you from going at
We
that
were
time
going, I was
because
like, nah. The crowd, then everybody was just, it's Valentine in Nigeria. Everybody wants to have fun.
yeah.
Young boys, young girls. So the whole place was crowded. Because what we did was we got agbalumo. We got
What's
some. We got
agbalumo? What's
agbalumo.
agbalumo?
What's it called? Cherry.
African cherry.
Cherry. Yes, we got cherry. Got some. So just went home. I think we went home. So started watching a movie or so.
Yeah.
There was nothing
Yeah, just had food.
extraordinary.
And yeah, because Valentine for us is every day.
Every day.
It's an everyday thing.
It's all
so
right.
and I for one, I hate going out on busy days like
On busy
that.
days.
For example, Christmas, you can hardly find me outside on Christmas.
You'll be indoors.
You can hardly ever find me
You have
outside.
phobia for crowd.
Yes, I think that's the word. I don't like go to a place and meet people clustered in one place.
Yeah, I
It
share a
can
part.
be-
I share a
it
part
can
of
be
that
very
passion.
scary.
I have this funny phobia to be just a number in when you just see heads of people
Heads,
and then
yes.
they're just a number.
Yes.
My problem with that is that you go there and then you don't find where to sit. That's just the issue I have. Like you
But
know,
you're-
people
you're
drag
okay.
chairs.
You're
And then,
okay
and then you
with
have
it.
to
I
stay.
don't
You have to stay on
mind.
a
I
long
don't
queue.
mind.
She doesn't mind actually. She even
know.
likes all those. But
I mind though.
I don't mind, but then it's the
you
whole
stay on the long queue.
I can't even stand that.
You know, trying
Every
to get a
time.
place to sit.
yeah,
Yeah.
looking for where to
it
sit,
can be very
standing for a
frustrating.
while for people to evacuate that position. So it's just
When we go to a restaurant, we will, and we know that that place is heavily patronized by people. We would have made reservations.
Right?
Yeah, just just sanctify and consecrate this area of the lounge for us and all.
yes.
But with that, I don't know.
It can be
I
pretty hard
just-
for me.
And the same thing, and it's. But anyway, in your own little way, you had fun, and you enjoyed the day. All right, that's gladdening to know. All
Yeah.
right, so today we want to go on part 2. We want to have a reload of our conversation. We're on a theme. We're still on the theme. Built to last. This conversation is to inspire the next generation. A generation that is arising, maybe the Gen Z generation. I don't know what generation is going to come after Gen Z generation
Gen
that are
Z
beginning to
plus.
question every statutory.
Woke generation.
Yeah.
They want to know why. Why should it? They question stereotypes. They don't like monotony. They don't like routines, and probably one of the traditional routines or traditional stereotypes has to do with marriage and relationship. And
Yeah.
people are beginning to say questions like, does true love exist? Do people still get married these days for 15 years, 20 years? Do people, a man in our days and time can really be faithful? Do people still have that heaven on earth, living happily ever after experience? People are beginning to question those realities that they don't exist again, and you hear stuff like men are all the same, men are scum, women are this and all of that. It doesn't matter whether you meet them in church or on the streets. You just be ready for heartbreak. So people get into relationship and get married just because they have to be married, but they just expect to have their heart broken. But we say no. The originals, the authenticity of love, the very fidelity of it, the people who are living and basking in the very glory of marriage. And this is the objective of this conversation. That there are people who have been married, who are just married, who are middle gone, and they are having a ball and they're enjoying themselves. And there are secrets to these things. And that's why you guys are here today. And I know you also have something, you also talk about that, something to do in the area of empowering marriages, inspiring love, and strengthening relationships and all of that. And you do stuff on social media too, and so let's talk about this. Talking about you guys, so you are about a year plus, or going to be 2
Yeah,
year plus.
a year plus.
Year plus, all right.
Heading for 2.
Heading for 2. All right. So let's now come to the marriage itself. Let's start with your first 1 month in marriage. The first 1 month. People say that you can never know when you're cutting. No matter what happened, just prepare for shocks,
Yeah.
for surprises. You will never be able to know, and you're not expected to know your spouse anyway. So there will always be an element of surprise in marriage. So, was that your experience? Was there any element of surprise in the first 1 month?
There were a lot. A lot.
Oh boy! All right.
I think we even did a video on that.
Okay.
And I was
look at
like,
that in our channel.
and I was like, within the first few weeks, few days,
Few
let's
days.
say first 10 days, yes. I was already getting that vibe, like
Oh
maybe
my goodness.
I've gotten married to the wrong person, like.
Oh there.
That means I'm going to live with this for life, that kind of feeling. Yeah, so it happened to me, and there were elements of doubt, elements of worry, and all that.
So that's
Feeling
probably
insecure too.
normal. Somebody's going through it now. Like we just got married. It's just a few days, it's just a few weeks, few months, and I'm beginning to have gish gish gish. Am I normal? Am I doing stuff that I'm not supposed to be doing? But that was your experience.
That was my experience. I would even say we even had a very major fight 10 days after. Because the reason I remember
Oh,
is
really?
because
10 days
I
after.
emphasized on it that day.
You said it's not 10 days to marriage. What were you doing? What you doing?
I can't
You
even,
can't
I can't
remember.
even remember
Well,
that.
she remember.
Maybe
If you
you should
remember,
share
it's
that
10 days.
story.
Yeah.
I don't even know what happened and
And
how that
I
happened.
don't even know if I have all the details, but
Yeah.
then I know I counted it. Just 10 days, and because normally you expect that people that just got married, will be all
Honeymoon.
lovey-dovey.
I expect you to
and-
still be on your
You
honeymoon.
Yeah,
understand
but
now?
I think reality just struck immediately. Like there
Yeah.
was no forming, no pretense. Like it just happened,
So
and
that means you guys did not go outside Lagos or outside
No,
Nigeria for
funny enough,
honeymoon.
we didn't even had. I don't think we even had any honeymoon.
Hey, because that 10 days, you should be on honeymoon.
I think after that day, I just stayed in the house for a couple of days with her, and then got back to work
Hustling and bustling.
almost immediately. But just like she said, I think
Yeah.
two of us were very real. That's one of the things. If you remember the last time
Yeah.
we came here, we talked
Yeah.
about it. We tried to be as real as we could be, even while we were cutting. And even when we got married, it was just like she was just like someone I've been living with for years from the first day. It wasn't so I wasn't trying to be like, okay, let me do things to please her. And she wasn't like that too. It was just okay, just live your life. And so of course that's what actually led to whatever fight she's talking about and all the other fights, because we actually fought. We did a video on it on this topic. I think we released that video a few days after Valentine's Day on 6 things to expect in the first year of your marriage.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it's on our YouTube channel. You
Oh.
can watch it. We
Okay,
talked about all the
throw
things.
some. So let's take the first 3 or one of the 3 out of the 6. So that don't give up everything. They can go and,
Okay.
they'll go and
So one of the
listen to
things one of the things we mentioned in that video was doubts.
Yeah.
Yes, moments of doubt.
Yeah.
Like at some
And
point
she
she'd be
had it
like,
quite
I
early.
started seeing certain things because in my head before we got married, I thought I knew her and everything. But when she came in, I realized that this person is not everything. No, there are still some
It
things. So
happens.
she started. Of course, she was real. So I was just seeing so many weaknesses, so many things that I didn't like. And at some point,
when you see them, do you voice it out or you just
I
just
can
until
be,
you just-
I can be very expressive. My wife knows. I'm
know
not a
what?
person
no,
that
for me,
very blunt or you have a diplomatic way of expressing yourself?
I'm now learning to be diplomatic with her.
Well-
But then I will just give it to you,
Bam.
goose. You know,
For-
I'll just hit it and like
for me,
that.
I think it was the opposite because I'll just take it.
She will
in
just that's
and,
how she bottles
be
things, takes it
processing it over and over and over. It's just recently I'm learning to open up and be more diplomatic also.
So let me
when
catch you now. So in that moment, those early days, so you were bottling the things that you were saying that were shocking to you. He was expressing his mind.
You know how it happens, you bottle and it gets to a point where you can't contain it any longer and then it just bursts open.
bursts,
Yeah, so
yeah.
that was what happened. I had bottled and then I couldn't take it anymore and then everything came out. And I'm sure he was even
How
surprised
did you
at the
how did you know
outburst.
everything was not coming out? Was it the
like,
outburst?
yes,
Was it
like
the
for her, once that thing when she gets to this place, she will just release the bomb. As in, she will release it, and it can be so disastrous.
you will not calm down?
Yeah, she will just be hitting.
No.
Ka.
It's just recently he's learning to calm down. At first, he didn't used to
So
calm
no,
down.
of course,
Oh,
me now.
fire for fire.
And when she starts, I'll give her, she
So,
she
gbas,
sends
gbos,
me
gbas,
hot,
gbos,
and
gbas,
I serve her hot.
And that was what led to the maybe I've married the wrong
The wrong
person.
person,
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe I entered. Maybe people did not even advise me well. Maybe I didn't hear God. It led to all those thoughts. But I had to calm down to process it all over again. To think about all the promises, all that we had talked about even before we got
His
married.
own promises to you,
No,
or
no,
your
no.
promises to him.
No, not even our promise. Like
All
the
promises.
direction.
Okay, direction.
Yes.
All
and
right.
purpose and all.
And that's one of the things that keeps us going, both of us. For me, whenever I have this kind of thoughts like, this person, are you sure she's? Are you sure? Maybe I should have just gone for somebody else. I remember all the things that led me to her. I remember
Yeah.
the convictions that I had.
Convictions,
The
confirmations.
confirmations that this marriage, is actually meant to be. I remember those things, and those are the things that, and for me, I think those are the things that were actually, that's one thing that will actually keep this marriage going for years. Because truth is that there will always be issues. People who are
So
married.
let's extract that and laminate it, as it were. Conviction. You have to have conviction.
Conviction,
This
yes. You have
conviction
to be sure.
cannot just be something that is based on feelings.
Yes.
They have to be deep seated conviction.
Yes.
And if you're a person of faith, there are people of faith, just conviction has to be heavily backed up by the word of God,
Yes.
something
What
that you
is
can
God
hold on
saying?
saying,
Yeah.
Yes.
because it will always serve as reference point
Yes.
when the chips are down.
And that's one of the things I tell people, that when I meet people these days who want to get married or who are planning to settle down, I always want to find out how sure they are, because things will come up that will test your conviction. Trust me.
Definitely.
Things will come up. And what will keep you going in that marriage would be how sure you were of
Yeah.
that relationship before you entered into marriage. If you entered with, is this person, let me just go and try my luck. That's
Trial and
how
error.
you will fall out. You will fall out almost immediately. You fall out, because marriage will test your conviction, to test your faith, to test your ability, to test your trust, to test everything, to test, all those things you said before you got married. God told me, God said this, God, this person said that. Marriage will try all of them. And if, they are not made of good stuff, they are not made of good stuff, those things will burn up, and you would crash. That marriage will crash. It will crash.
And the root shock is that, for you guys, thank God for the reference point, the foundation. The root shock is that that test can start right from the first very
First,
week.
yes,
Exactly.
from the first day, from the
Anytime.
first night.
I remember that there was a time I was coming to church, and a wedding ceremony had just been concluded. So the bride and the groom were driving out. So I was coming in, and they were at the gate driving out, and I looked into the car and saw that a conflict, whatever. You can see that the woman was very angry. The man was pointing at me and what. See, for whatever reason, they
Funny thing
were
is that
they are
on,
on their way.
on that wedding day, most times there's always this some sort of disagreement on that wedding day
Definitely.
between the man and the woman. Most times, because there'll be some things happening, like, no, do, she'll be like, no, do it that way. So two of you there'll always be that clash of
Conflict of
conflict
interest.
of interest on the day of the wedding.
And that
It
can
always
be
happens. So I
a
think it even
destroyer
happened
on wedding
between-
night.
Yeah, it won't happen between the two of us. I think on that wedding day we had one or two. No, let's do it that way. But funny enough, I think on the wedding day I was even angry at her because she came to church late. I think
It wasn't my fault.
yes. So what
Makeup
happened was that
artist.
the photographer wanted us to take some shots
Yeah,
somewhere in the hotel.
yeah.
I was downstairs waiting for her. She was not forthcoming. So I just told the guy, I said, let's go to church. I can't keep my pastor waiting. Let's go to church. The guy was like,
I
one of
didn't
my
know
friends,
this,
one of my friends came and was like,
You didn't know.
I didn't
one of
know.
my friends came and one of my friends from church came and was like, Pastor CJ, just wait, just calm down. Calm down.
Come now.
Can
This-
imagine.
it was like if you miss this moment, you can't recover it.
Can't wait.
And
Yeah.
that's the
Just
truth.
calm down. I said I am not waiting. I am going to church.
You
And
see-
now I
You-
wouldn't
you
take
left.
that picture again.
But I didn't know. I didn't know about that. And you'd have informed us earlier.
I was
too.
calling her on phone to come downstairs. She was like, I'm coming. But she wasn't forthcoming.
But I've told her what you
So-
wanted to do.
That's
Yes,
the
I was
truth.
telling her. Now, you've forgotten. I was
No.
telling you. I was telling you.
How will I hear pictures and stay back?
She was
Yourself.
because whoever was making you up, the makeup artist was still making you up and trying to get you dressed. That was how I ran away. Oh. If you watch, we didn't take any pictures downstairs in that hotel. It was all the pictures we took were in church. We didn't take any picture together. We didn't take picture in that hotel together. All the pictures you took your own pictures. I took my own pictures, but there was no picture together in the hotel because I left.
And it
angry.
was your fault. This is almost 2 years now.
Oh my goodness. Thank God for the real. All right, number two. Doubt is the first one. Number two. To others.
Unexpected reactions to
Yes.
conflict. So we're like, during courtship, people have all the time to mask the way they would have responded. For instance, now if we were courting, the way I would have reacted to him would be different from how I'll react when we are married.
Yeah.
During courtship, people try to sugarcoat things. They try
Yeah.
to, okay, let me not expose the real me, so that this person don't run off, don't get scared, like, so that they will not say, is this how this person is? But then during marriage, people, no, there's no longer pretense, there's no longer forming. You have married, you have entered your house, that kind of feeling. Yes.
Yes.
So there's gonna be lots of unexpected reactions. Like,
Reactions.
people, someone will be like, I didn't know you had the capacity to do this thing. Oh, how did you? As in, how are you able?
Oh.
How is it? How did I marry this person?
You
That kind of
understand?
thing. Yes. So there's gonna be shock, disappointment, and rude awakening to the
Yeah.
kind of reaction you get when you're eventually
So
married
the
to
kind of
somebody.
thing that probably
Yeah.
when probably why you guys are cutting, you do something, the guy will just be like,
Overlook it.
let me
Yeah.
overlook it, because just to show you that he's a nice guy, that
Nice
he's
guy.
Yes.
patient.
Good guy.
When you now come into marriage, the real
For
person will now
real.
come out like, I don't take this kind of nonsense, and all of that.
For
So,
real.
so another thing to expect, extreme emotions. They're almost all similar, extreme
Yeah.
emotions. So you get extreme when you want to
Love.
fight, you fight very well. When you don't want to love up with each other, because
Yeah.
you're just married, so the butterflies are still very much there and all of that. So when you want to love, you love to the extreme. You can go out of your way, because of course with time we've discovered from interactions with people who are older and married that with time, if you're not conscious of you know those things of showing love, expressing love to your partner, with time it just fits off.
Yeah.
But in that first year of marriage, it's always still very
Easy.
fresh and it's very easy. So you see a lot of PDAs. You want to take walks together, you want to hold hands, you
just
want to
like
do all of
just
that.
like saying I love you. You find that some people that just got married, you would find it easier to
Easier
say I
saying,
love you every day, compared to those who have been married for
or calling
5
pet
years,
names.
yeah,
But
or
when you're
10
not married
years
and
or
kids now
more.
start coming, you now start calling her mama,
Mama Nkechi,
Nkechi,
mama this, mama that.
Kesta. And all of
Do you
that.
have
So,
pet names for yourselves?
yes, we
Yes.
do now.
What's
we
your pet
do.
name?
Do we need to start sharing?
Okay. Okay,
I
there's
call
some
her, I
pet
call
names.
her babe. I call her babe.
Babe.
Just like I call her Doom, call her just anything. There are plenty of them. But anyone that enters my head,
Okay,
yeah.
that's nice. What's your own pet name? You know what, tell us. What the
Well, there are plenty. Yeah, I
Mention
call
one.
him Sugar Daddy, I call him Daddy, I call him. No, let me just keep others. No.
Which one do you like? Okay, no, the one you like the most, you will not want to say it here.
Of the names, no, I will not even say it, so that because I know my wife. If I say it now, she will not be like, eh. So let me not say it, so that she can keep calling me the name.
All right, so let's make some progress. All right, so let's say that now 1 year gone. What let me come with. There are certain routines that comes with the marriage relationship or the marriage space once you are married. There are certain other routines that also kicks in once you move into the phase of parenthood, which is a phase you guys are moving into. But let's start with routines. What are the healthy routines that married couples should be engaged in, and what are the not too healthy, some kind of red flag routines that you should now be intentionally be looking at as you journey further in the marriage? There are some healthy ones. They're not too not too healthy ones. They're not outrightly wrong. They're not outrightly. It's not. We're not saying it's sinful, but you just have to watch out that these routines can probably get you into a space in your marriage that you probably wake up one day and discover that you guys are
Don't
just
have a
strangers.
marriage
Yeah,
again, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, one of them is using as unmarried as an example. One of the things we do that is a routine that we try to, we prioritize so much in our marriage is spending time together. Yeah, we don't joke with it. Like it's a priority for us. Whenever we have to spend time together, we make sure that we, like in the house, we make sure we spend it together, we stay together. So very recently, I remember she was calling me her CMS twins because one day, I think a couple of days back, she was in the room. So I just woke up, stood up, and left, and went to the sitting room and stayed. I was trying to get fresh air because the whole place was hot. There was no light, so
imagine.
I just went to the sitting room, opened the windows, and just stayed there for a while. And came in, she was not like, "Why did you leave me?" She picked it up. So and I just realized that most times when I'm in the house, we're always together. If I'm in the room, she's in the room with me. If I'm in the, except maybe I want to have some private time, I go to I have a study in the house, go to the study and stay. So, but most times, it's something that has helped our marriage. Staying together. At times we stay together and we're just pressing phone. No? This one is pressing, I'm pressing. But just knowing that, okay, I can turn and see her and then she can turn and see me, it's just, it does
So
a lot of good.
the togetherness is a good
Yeah, it's a good routine.
the
Yeah,
routine.
stay together, even if you're not talking to each other. Just learn to always stay together, and just, you know, be around each other.
Fantastic. But you know that people can be together and not be together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so yeah, but of course, being together in and being together
Being together and being
is
together.
All right. So, what other routines?
Well, I would say having a culture of praying together.
Praying
Fantastic.
together. Yeah.
Yes. So it could be whenever it's convenient, but we basically do it in the mornings.
In the mornings.
Yes. So I realize that doing it every day, doing it constantly, it helps to build bond between the man and the woman. Like there's just this connection. And even when you don't do it, you feel the space, you
Yeah.
feel the gap. Yes. So
A lot of people do not, even people who are pastors, do not. They are so wrapped up in their engagement, in their itinerary, that they really do not have sufficient time or do not prioritize that time of prayer with their
Yeah.
spouse. A
Yeah.
lot of spouse, a lot of people, a lot of couples do not pray together. It's like, or maybe it's something people just rush through. So it cannot be overemphasized
It
that
cannot.
praying
And
together.
and to me, I feel, for example, one of the things that there are times where, we go maybe because of schedules.
Yeah.
So I have my personal prayer time. She has her
Yeah.
personal prayer time most times.
Yeah.
So at some point in our marriage, we realized that we're not spending so much time in prayers together. Like
we are
she
praying
prays. Yeah, we're
individually.
praying individually. We're praying individually. My prayer life was healthy. Hers was healthy. She prays early in the morning. So what was happening then was that when she goes to pray, she comes in and then she needs to now sleep a little bit.
Yeah.
Then I have to wake up, prepare for work. So most times when she wakes up eventually, I'm already almost set for work or, trying to get set for work. So I
Yeah.
now realize that even though we pray individually, that if there's no corporate prayer, it's going to affect,
Bam.
our marriage.
Yeah.
So one of the things we do recently, we have been doing recently, is in trying to be more intentional. Even though there are times where we still have, the on and off thing, but we know it's a priority and it's not something we're willing to trade for anything. So
Fantastic.
yeah, so every time, whenever we miss 2, 3, 4 days, we rebuke each other and then go back to
Get
it
back.
because we know how important it is for couples to pray together.
Fantastic. So praying couples, the couple that prays together, stays together, all things being equal,
Yeah.
is still very valid. Prayer is this powerful glue, and that's most of us will attest to the fact that when there is unresolved conflict between a couple, one of the first attack is their prayer
Is our prayer
together.
is
They
our
can't they just can't hold hands again and say, let us pray
and
and
that's one
agree.
resolve we made as well. That
No
like,
matter
even
how-
when we
yeah.
fight, the times where we fight,
Yeah.
and we still pray together. Whenever we decide we want to pray together, we don't, even if there is a fight on ground, an
Yeah.
unresolved issue,
You still-
we pray, do our devotion, read the devotional, share together, even with the fight too. And then when we are done praying, we go back to not talking to each other. Yeah, so
You go back to the
yes, when we are done. So
Okay.
then of course, when you are done spending time with God, by the time you are done, you now start like, okay.
okay,
So
why the fight?
another routine that we also, have, even though once in a while, because we are human beings, we fail to keep to it at times. Another routine that we, do in our marriage is for example, before we got married, we told ourselves that we will never go to bed
Angry.
angry
On
at
the
each other.
download.
So if there's
Okay.
any issue on ground, we'll make sure we resolve it before we go to bed. And we've been doing that. A lot. We do it a lot of times. There's just 1 or 2 times where probably because it's a very serious issue, deep issue, or maybe because we could not reach any agreement, we just go.
You
Most times
postpone
we do so
yeah.
because Satan can be very.
Yeah.
The man is very deceitful. So if you allow him, he can just bring in
will take,
stuffs
yeah.
and then overshoot stuff. So in order to curb that, we try to make sure that every day before we go to bed, we resolve our issue. And then we also have this thing we call what was it called again? This thing we do on Sunday evenings.
Open day.
Open day. You understand? So yeah. So on
That's
open day.
Interesting.
On open day.
What did you on open day?
Open day we'll start, we're not fighting. There's no, but what we do is we sit down and we tell each other what, with things we've done wrong, how it is. We open up.
No sugar coating.
No sugar coating.
I like
See the
that.
things you
I
do
really
that
like that.
See the things you did that I don't like. You understand? See the things I want you to change.
And you're
from.
not going to defend yourself.
You're not going to defend yourself. You're not going to cut in when somebody else, when the other person is talking. So when she's talking, even if I have my defenses, I'll just keep quiet and wait for her to finish. Then I'll tell her, okay, no problem. This one.
I'm
So
going
if
to
there's
work
no one
on
that I
it.
have an explanation for, I explain, and then find out if she understood my explanation. Then we make sure we reach certain agreements and make certain compromises, on those days, those open days, yeah. So it's a very good routine. It will help. That thing will help anymore. Once there's open day, that opportunity to open up and share together. You could do it once in a week, once in 2 weeks. Find any time convenient for both of you to do it.
Fantastic. Let's talk about your
and then do it when you are at peace. When you are
at peace,
not when you are fighting. No, don't do open day when you are fighting. But that will be
because that will be.
And you do it when when two of you are all over each other. You're loving up on each other.
Oh, but I thought you already have a statutory timing for it every Sunday.
Yes, it holds every Sunday.
And sometimes there are other things that could come up, so it makes that day not convenient.
Yeah, so there are times where we shift
okay.
it. There are times where on that Sunday, two of you are not ready for open day, like because of the way things are.
You are in closed day.
You can show. But when you are now good with each other, you can now do open day. And
interesting. I just learned something cool. I like to implement it. Open day. I like to say something. All right. So, okay. So, one more thing to let's look at what should you be wary of when it comes to unhealthy or not too healthy routines. That these routines will probably set in, but start having a second look at them again before you sentence your relationship to boredom.
Okay, I think the first one I would say is not being intentional. Dropping some of those things that you used to do when you first started. Like I mentioned something earlier, like saying I love you. I love you it sounds very cheap. It sounds very common. Like anybody can tell anybody I love you. But it gets to the point where familiarity now enters. Now you no longer see your partner as a lover. You begin to see them as maybe a brother or a sister.
Brother's zone or sister's zone.
Yes, and it's not really a good place to be. Yeah, in as much as it's good to build friendship, but it's also good to also see the person as a lover. And this healthy relation, just like kissing every day, saying I love you every day, it helps to build.
You have a routine of kissing every day?
Well,
you can ask. You can see the truth is just do a personal survey and ask couples when last did you kiss your husband, when last did you kiss your husband, and it will shock you.
Very important. Kissing every day is one thing that can help, because you might not be able to have sex every day, but you see kissing every day, it helps. It will help. It's
therapeutic.
It's a lot of it's a therapy on its own.
Yeah.
Make it a culture that every day you must kiss your wife.
You must hug too.
You must say nice words. You must affirm. You must say I love you. So you can even have a structure for it. I must say I love you 3 times: morning, afternoon, night. If you cannot say it in the afternoon because you're not together, you can send a text, or you can find a way to communicate. You can call on phone, or in the evening. That kind of routine is just like you said, it's a small thing.
Yes, it's
But it
subtle,
can
but
go
then
it can go a long way in helping that marriage
and most times
stand.
we tend to overlook it, especially here in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
You say there are lots of things to do. The day is busy. I need to rush out. I need to do
Yeah.
this, and we just ignore it, not knowing that it's like the yeast that holds together the dough.
Yeah.
And when you don't do when it's not practiced every day, there's every tendency that we start what do they call it? What's the word? We start overlooking. Yeah, we start losing value. Yes, that's the word. Losing value of the essence of the marriage. It's not just about sex. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right. So, what do you guys do for recreation? Do you have recreational lifestyle routine, something you do regularly, or when you guys unwind, what do you?
Yeah, so two things that we do. One of them is we watch a lot of movies, like when we want to relax and
Out or
unwind.
in?
In,
In. You don't go out
yes.
to watch movies.
We go out once in a while, once in a long while anyway. She's been accusing me of not taking her to the movies.
Oh,
We will do a lot of movies in the house.
your problem is
watch.
the crowd in the
I don't
cinema.
even know. So the second thing we do,
Yeah.
we because of our schedule, we don't
Yeah.
really have too much time to hang out. Hang out. I'm not the kind of hanging out person. She's the kind of, my wife loves to go out, loves to experience new places and all of that. It's not really my thing. So one of the things I do once in a while, different intervals is sorry. We just pack our bags on some weekends, go on a weekend getaway.
That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
so go somewhere, stay in a hotel, eat, some new kind of food, have some new
Do
kind
you
of
plan that
experiences.
together, or that comes as a surprise?
Yes,
to
we
one
plan
party?
it. I'll just tell her, okay, babe, next week, next 2 weeks, next month, we're going to go out. So we'll just pack our bags, maybe on a Friday, go somewhere, or on a Saturday, go somewhere, stay there. At times, go to church from there on Sunday morning, and then go home. So we'll do with that is try to, okay, all the experiences we've not had all this while, let's just go and have them in one weekend. So we do all the things, watch movie, go, play some game, just have different kind of experiences. Go to a new
Who is the swimmer?
restaurant. You said?
Who is the swimmer?
Two of us. I don't know. Two of us. We are terrible swimmers anyway. We are terrible
Oh boy.
swimmers.
Okay, so you will not done. They will not normally catch you inside the pool.
No, you will.
You will, but we just do it for the fun of staying in water, not because we want to swim or anything.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
nice. That's nice. All right. What else do you do for recreation?
What do we do? Maybe play games.
Like, what would you like? Is there something that you would love to, impute or add to your recreational life that you probably have not explored yet
Well,
so far?
so far, maybe
Traveling.
not just traveling, but adventure exploits. Going on different adventures.
Yeah,
Like
she's a very adventurous
going
person.
to
So when she watches all those Instagram videos, where
going
you see people
to
carrying rope, jumping over mountains,
going to
Yeah.
different
she'll be like,
Well,
places.
I can't wait to,
you
and
can't
I'll be like, I can't be alive, and you'll be doing this thing in my presence. She'll be like,
Oh,
what is wrong
boy.
with you? Why are you like this? So, but that one depends a lot on other things. So after that,
Yeah,
we're going to.
because it's not something you just do every
Yeah,
time. It's something you
yeah.
plan towards.
You like adventure?
Yes.
So whatever it is, whatever adventure, whatever kind of adventure, she loves it. I am not an adventurous person.
But you love it too now. You love it too.
No, he loves watching it.
Exactly. Some of us used to argue a lot when we watch Instagram. Like, I can't do that. I would just fence on the edge. She'd be like, fence what?
Like
Some people are doing it. I
skydiving.
didn't know.
Oh my
I didn't know you do have two
Bungee
heads
jumping.
and all of that. And another thing we have is when it comes to food, she's very adventurous with food.
Yeah, and
So
I've taught
one of
him
the
a
things
lot.
we do together that also helps is that we cook together.
Yeah.
Most of the
Nice.
food we make in the house, we make it together.
Like let's say 90%.
90% of the food we make in the house. So
Wow,
we make food in
that's good.
batches.
That's
So when we
good.
want to cook, okay, we're cooking this weekend or this week is for cooking. So we'll stock it in the fridge. When we stock it, it can last us under 1 month or more. So but when we want to do, we do it together. So we're in the kitchen together. At times from Saturday morning till evening, we're in the kitchen cooking
Where
Making
different meals.
different
where do you get the
things.
power to keep your freezer to keep them for about a month or two?
Just because we don't because there's always no time because of
No,
our
no,
You
no.
say,
schedule.
well, how do we
Where
get
do
light
which power do
power?
you
Light,
supply?
okay, light, light, and then generator. We we use the generator.
We are
And,
lucky that the gen powers
yeah,
the
we have a gen that
fridge.
powers the fridge,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
and then light too. So
So you can preserve your food for
preserve.
that
Yeah,
long. Well,
yeah.
that's interesting to know that. That's what you probably will not get a couple who live in the city, hustling and bustling, sit down together, cook almost all the time, 90%.
Not
No,
all
we
the
don't cook all
time.
the
That's what I'm
time.
saying.
We
So
don't
we
cook
No, no,
all
I
the
mean,
time.
I'm saying that whenever you cook, 90% of the time you do it together.
together. Yes,
Okay.
That's what I mean.
I'm the cook of the house actually. Yeah,
Are
it's
you
the truth.
affirming that?
Yeah, he is.
I'm the cook of the house.
Wow,
Yes, I
great.
make most of the meals in the house. So what she
No,
does is
we
we
make.
make,
Don't say
but
I
I'm the
make.
lead cook. I'm the one. I'm the one putting the maggi, putting the stuff. I'm the one. Yes, yes. What she just does is to help me prepare the whole thing, the ingredients, make sure they are ready. And then once I am around, we enter the kitchen together. I'm the one that does the mixing. I'm the mixologist. You know. And then she dishes the food and packs them in the fridge. That's her own part of the job.
You learned that growing up,
He
or
just
Well, I
enjoys
just enjoy
cooking.
cooking. It's one thing I enjoy
wow.
doing. Yes, I've always enjoyed cooking. Yeah. So
What does it? I mean, continental dishes, local dishes,
Every. As long
every.
as someone has done it on
so I
YouTube.
was going to say that she's very adventurous. She taught me how to be adventurous with food because before now I used to be the kind of person that don't bring me or something I've not eaten before. I like to stay in the region of the known.
Rice, beans, and
When it
yam.
comes to food. So she will come, she will go to one, she will see one YouTube video. In short, basically in our house we cook with YouTube. She will say, no, let's make this jollof this way, let's make this soup this way.
Fried
So
rice.
we have
Efforiro.
to make egusi soup now we have like 6 different recipes for making
Yeah.
egusi.
That
So she
is
will say, let's
really
make
fun.
so we bring different. At times we'll go watch some videos. We'll write out the ingredients. She goes to the market, shop for them, come back home. We'll make so we try out new things, every time,
Yeah.
every time. And
So
that's what
it's
it's
even
fun.
hard
Wow,
to even
wow.
hang out in the restaurant.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
we've when I go to the restaurant, I don't buy fried rice now, jollof rice, because what I make in my house is way
Like we hardly
tastier.
the kind of restaurants we go to is kind of restaurant where they sell amala. Those
Ehen.
kind of food or
That we
some kind
don't
of
cook.
local dishes
That we don't cook all the
but
time.
you can hardly find us eating normal, regular kind of food in a restaurant because what we do in our house beats what they do in the
As
restaurant.
in
Fantastic.
by 1 million times.
Oh my goodness, I could
Yeah.
see no dull moments at home. This is what we are talking about. You can have a blissful life, a blissful marriage, if you see it as partnership that works, where everybody brings in their A game, where people make compromises, make adjustments, and everybody is allowed to breathe. Everybody is allowed to be their best. Everybody is allowed to make their mistakes. And I mean, these are things that, yeah, as simple as it is, it's becoming complex and strange in this evolving generation. And I'm glad that we have a couple that is embodying these realities. And I can almost be sure of a shorty that 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, if Jesus tarries, you will continue to hear these glowing drama, exciting experiences between Dumebi and CJ, because it is solid foundation, time tested principles that will stand the very test of time. All right, so we're gradually coming to the end of this conversation. I wish I could stay a bit more longer, but I'm now going to ask you, if you have an opportunity, and I know you regularly have that opportunity, but for everyone who's going to be listening, what will be your take home for them? If you want to have a marriage that lasts forever, at least in this part of time.
Okay, let me go.
Yeah.
One thing I would say is that every marriage is unique. Every couple is just special, different. Like there are no two marriages that are the same. So instead of trying to claim all the lovey-dovey marriage you see on the internet, yes, on Facebook, on Instagram, why not take out time and learn each other, learn yourselves, learn your partner, you know. Find out what works for you, find out what works for your marriage. What works for my marriage will might not even be what will work for your own marriage. That's
Yeah.
why I said every marriage is unique. So I would say people should take out time and explore and open their eyes to the things that can work out for their marriage, and continue to practice it, continue to implement those things, because as you do them, you get better, and you'd find out that people are even admiring you at, without
Yeah.
you knowing. Yes, so just find your uniqueness and stick to it.
Fantastic. Thank you. Maybe let's have CJ.
Okay, for me, there are two things I want to say. The first one I want to say is, um, one thing that will keep your marriage, that will keep your marriage going for years, 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 would be um, the way you perceive your spouse.
True.
It's a mindset thing. See your spouse as the most important person in your life. See your spouse as the most important. See that marriage as the most important thing in your life. You know, if you don't make your marriage the most important thing apart from God,
Yeah.
there will always be other options for you.
True.
You know, but if it's the most important thing apart from God, you will do everything possible to
Make
make
it
it work.
work.
If your partner is the most important person in your life, you do see that your partner is someone you cannot survive without. You know, if you see your partner that way, you will do everything possible to make sure that relationship, keeps going. Something happened to our marriage last year around maybe just immediately after our first anniversary. We had one kind of fight like that, and we knew it was Satan. But that was when we started our show, our YouTube show. We knew it was Satan. It started around October, so this thing happened. I think it happened in November, December, or so. Just maybe like a month after started the show. We started, you realize that we're always fighting, always, I knew it was spiritual. One day I called her. I said, "Do you know how I feel about you right now? Like whenever I see you, I just get irritated." I told her. I know she remembers. I see that's how I feel, and I knew it was an attack from Satan, because of course he has seen what we're trying to do and ministry, and he came. So I had to
You
even
really
call.
must be very blunt. I can't imagine telling
Yeah,
my
yeah.
wife
No,
that.
that's we are that open with each other. I called her. I said,
Yeah.
"That's how I feel about you right now."
Yeah.
Like and we're not fighting. I just told her. I said, "That's how I feel." So I had to talk to my mentor, and he told us. He said, "Stop that show for now," and that's what we did. So if you will go through our YouTube, you realize that between November and March, February, we didn't post anything. We had videos, we had things, but we didn't. We took time to pray, to reflect. So he was like, "Stop it! Don't do it for now again. Give attention to your marriage. Put some foundation, so that when you start again, even when Satan strikes, you have enough
Capacity.
ground to capacity to withstand." So, and that's what we did before we came back to the show. We took time to pray, took time to reflect, to discuss, to talk. Second thing I want to say is the place of mentors.
Yeah, yeah,
Every
yeah. Thanks for
marriage,
mentioning that.
every
Yeah.
marriage you must have people, people that you can call into your home. Most people just want to have, say, "No, I just want to have my marriage. I don't want any third party." I don't believe in that. There are third parties that should come in, but they should not come in. You should be sure of who they are. You should properly vet who they are before
Yeah.
bringing them in, because there will be times where you need to talk to somebody. Two of you need to talk to someone together. There will be times where somebody needs to, call both of you to order.
Yeah.
Bring you into some knowings in that marriage. There will be times where two of you will have issues, and you need someone to come in and settle. Somebody that loves the both of you, someone
Yeah.
that loves, that's the first criteria for me. Someone that
Someone you
loves
know that
the
stands
both
for
of you, that
truth.
stands for
It's not
truth.
biased towards one
Yeah,
party or the
someone
other.
that can do
You
anything
know.
to make your marriage work, to help
Exactly.
you make that will go to any extent.
True.
That will pray for you and all of that, counsel you. So have someone like that in your marriage. It will go a long way in helping that marriage. So these are some of the things that, and then several other things, but these are some of the basic things that people can start doing. You viewers can start doing,
Yeah.
if you want to have a marriage that will last, and that will stand the test
Lifetime.
of time. Yeah.
Fantastic. We've heard it all today. It's been quite inspiring, educating, speaking with this very powerful couple. I'm very certain. Keep following them on the social media handles. We'll have their social media handles. They'll tell us the channels. I want you to follow them. You can take this to the bank. 5, 10, 15, 20. If Jesus tarries, these guys are going to be going stronger every day. At least you can take my word for that. So, and if you want to prove us wrong, follow them and follow their story from year to year. So, your YouTube channel,
Yeah, it's the Prime and Groom Show on YouTube.
the
Groom
Prime and the
and
Groom
Groom
Show.
Groom
Show.
show.
Search for
Yes.
that and please follow them
And
and
then
keep
on Instagram and Facebook, just the handle is at Prime and Groom.
at Prime
Prime
and
and
Groom Show.
At
Groom.
Prime and Groom, yes.
Yeah.
Instagram and Facebook.
All right. Thank you very much for being around. And of course, follow DIGITS1024 on all our social media platform. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, and we're on Twitter. And don't forget, as we begin to look towards a major political shift and in Nigeria, let's continue to have a positive mindset. This is all we need to build a better society. Let's continue to think positive, speak positive, and remain optimistic. Nigeria will be great again, and it will happen in our lifetime. So it's on
Amen.
this note that we will call it a day, and until another time when we come to your very space. Please, it's weekend. Go let your hair down, shake your bodies, and have a great time. Thanks, guys, for being around. Bye
Yeah.
bye.
Bye.
Bye.